Hello, Cassian. I appreciate you taking time to do this interview with me.
My pleasure.
The entire Roman Empire wants to know your opinions, and we've gathered some information on your previous speeches, and we've concluded top 5 things that
That's
you
great.
have spoken about. So we heard that you want to give the plebeians, the poor, more voting rights in government. Is that correct?
Of course it is. Of course it is. The poor are human beings just like the rest of us. And since they are human beings like the rest of us, regardless of their economic or socioeconomic status, why shouldn't they have the rights that all of us have?
Very fair, very fair. We've also heard that you wish to give slaves more rights and provide them with a better living standard.
Right. So with slavery and how we view slavery now, it's a necessary reality of our time. But that doesn't mean we should be treating slaves as anybody less than who we are. They have entered into this situation based on decisions of their own and sometimes not their own. And it could very well have been us who were slaves and in those circumstances. And so my philosophy is if we were in their situation, we would want to be treated fairly. And so my goal, my dream is to give them more rights.
Okay. Now this one's controversial. There's so much backlash from this, but you have said that you are willing to give away land to prevent wars.
Yes, it's misunderstood, right? It's not out of the realm of reason that I want to do this. The goal is prosperity. The goal is actually the increased prosperity of Rome. The problem we're having is we are investing so much money and time and lives defending and trying to control our borders and all of these different regions around our country, around our empire. Well, in order for us to actually consolidate our empire, what I want to do is to negotiate peace. So it's not a question of letting go of anything. The question is making peace. And how we actually accomplish those goals involves us doing a little compromise, working together, making deals with our enemies and trying to make enemies into friends. And that's behind what we want to do.
I'm glad you cleared that up. Huge benefit that you talk about is how you want to remove corruption from government. And we've seen you do this in a court case recently where a fellow government official threw dirt on your name and you handled it very gracefully. How would you plan on removing all of this from government?
That's a good question. It's endemic in our system. Of course, the love of money has propelled so much corruption, right? And so the problem is we have leaders from all parts of the Roman Empire who are seeking leadership not for the benefit of people, but for to enrich their own coffers. And what we want to do is strike at the root of this motivation. And one of the ways in which we want to do this is to limit the amount of money being given to those in leadership. And I know this is controversial and it's a little bit more difficult to do, but I believe that if we are a genuine republic and that our countrymen, our people, those who are Roman citizens care about Rome, then if we can kind of root out those who are trying to enrich themselves by preventing them from enriching themselves, we can take a step towards a corrupt-free Rome.
Thank you for sharing that. The last viewpoint you have is that you want to allow women to learn in society and to educate themselves. What are your plans for this?
It's difficult to kind of approach this subject because many people believe that women aren't really citizens, right? In the sense that they are a subspecies of humanity, and I think that's complete hogwash. That's rubbish. We all had mothers, we all have sisters, and there's no difference between a man and a woman. Why should women have a negative or some inferior role than men? It just doesn't make any sense. Yes, they call me a dreamer, but I do have a dream that's a dream of so many people, and I want to stand up for the dreams of those who are under the oppression of those who don't dream.
Do you have any words you want to say to Augustus or the people?
I would like to offer the people of Rome an alternative to brutality, an alternative to corruption, an alternative to oppression. And I hope they would vote for me.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.